And then there's another strand to this where people in these positions are saying, well, hypothetically, I'm the governor of such and such a state. Our economy is based on oil, or it's based on gas, or it's based on coal. If you want to do business in this state, if you want to actually, for example, tender for financial services provision, say you're a bank, if you want to sort of turn your back on what we do in this state, then you won't do business here. Or alternatively, we will not be having the state's pension funds with your organisation. And I should say to yourself and viewers, I mean, when I was Premier of Queensland, Deutsche Bank said they wouldn't back coal projects anymore. And I said, well, we don't want Deutsche Bank to tender for anything in Queensland that involves the government. So that's what people can do. And that was almost 10 years ago that I took that stand. There's a final sort of element to this, which I think is also important, I was alluding to before, that I would say that the whole ESG pitch of these big fund managers is that it's clean and green, and it comes without, the costs of, if you like, the fossil fuel industry. And I say that that's false and misleading. And that needs to be called out too. So, for example, in Australia, someone might want to go to the ACCC if a fund manager was sort of putting that forward to investors, to shareholders, to the community, and was making these pronouncements that somehow what they were doing was environmentally superior to the alternative without context. Well, I would say that could be false and misleading under Australian consumer law.
Well, you've just outlined 4 strategies to fight back against this ESG madness. What's the likelihood of the side of sanity winning this battle, Campbell?
Well, look, I'm going to watch the United States really keenly. I think that's the first thing. And I think that will also then, if there's some wins over there, that will give people in this country, and there's a lot of people, there is a silent majority, particularly the grey-haired people from the business community, who are watching with horror about what we're embarking upon to really take away any advantages that we've had from being, an energy-rich country, and actually sort of, prostrate ourselves, abase ourselves to this, this altar of ESG. And we are going to hurt our country. We're going to impose higher costs on just ordinary people in the community who just try to live their lives. And so hopefully if the states get some of those state jurisdictions in the US actually get some traction on this stuff, that will give heart to people in Australia. I'm hoping that people will stand up and be counted on this. Look, and by the way, don't get me wrong, Fred, I have my own residence. I have solar panels. I have a battery. I found it a very interesting thing to get involved in. But I make the point, I've had to pay to do that, and I'm not going to stand here hypocritically and say, that there wasn't an impact of my decision. I could have bought, I could have continued to just buy from the grid, coal-fired in Queensland in the main. There's a hole in the ground in multiple locations in Queensland. There are CO2 emissions. We can all have a view on that. Yep. But I chose to actually go down a route where I wanted a bit of energy self-sufficiency. But I know there's a hole in the ground somewhere, or a few holes in the ground that have actually been the source of the ingredients to my energy self-sufficiency. So I hate hypocrisy, Fred, and I hate people, particularly in politics and the media in Australia, pretending it doesn't come at a cost to ordinary men and women.